Today we're looking at the British English accent of Daniel Radcliffe.
Jimmy, tip, because he's got a white tip on his tail. Susanna and Florence. Who knows why?
Daniel Radcliffe was born and raised in West London and became possibly the most famous 11-year-old when he was cast as Harry Potter.
Leg locker cast. Malfoy.
He speaks with modern RP, which is a contemporary form of received pronunciation. This is an accent that is associated with education and privilege here in Britain. Today we're going to look at a couple of interviews and analyse his accent, and we're going to learn some vocabulary as well. But first I'd like to say a quick thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning platform where creators come together to improve their skills. Now they have a fantastic offer for you guys that I'm going to tell you more about later in the video. But for now, let's get to it. Our first clip is from when Daniel was just 11 years old, and it's one of his first ever interviews. Let's listen in and focus on his accent.
They called us up, and I was in the bath at the time.
Okay, it's a really sweet interview. He's obviously very nervous and not used to being in front of the camera, but he speaks very well for an 11-year-old, I think. Now, the first feature that I want to focus on is that R sound. Now, if we're talking about received pronunciation, or RP, then that R sound is fundamental. It's the one that really distinguishes it from other accents. So on bath, he says bath, that R sound. Now, one of the big distinguishing features of English accents in particular is that R sound. Now, in the south of England, and with received pronunciation, there's R and A. But in the north of England, where there are many different accents, it's just an A sound. So the word bath would be pronounced bath, bath with that A sound. But in received pronunciation and the south of England, it's an R sound. So Daniel Radcliffe, speaking with modern RP, would say bath. He would also say laugh, fast, after, words like that. And we're going to hear that throughout these interviews.
They called us up, and I was in the bath at the time.
It's also one of the distinguishing features when people talk about an American English accent and a British English accent, is that R sound, because in American English it would be A, right? So it would be bath, or bath, as they would probably say. Now, one other feature there on that word is the TH th sound, so bath. Now, in other accents in British English, it would be a F sound. We have something called TH fronting, so it might be bath or bath. But in received pronunciation, it's the th sound. And we're going to find more examples of that later on.
They called us up, and I was in the bath at the time.
Okay, let's move to a more recent interview to hear him still using that R sound.
Yes, I did keep the glasses from the Harry Potter set. I kept one pair of glasses.
Okay, so he says glasses, not glasses. And in this clip, he says can't.
Or like, I can't wait to get onto Facebook tonight.
Okay, so that's a clear feature of modern received pronunciation. Okay, let's find some more examples of that TH th sound.
I do think it makes a difference.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not a method actor at all.
Okay, so we had thank you and method actor. Here's our first piece of vocabulary, method acting. This is a style of acting where you try to embody the character in everything that you do in your everyday life. So let's say an actor is playing a Cockney character. Well, then in their everyday life, they're going to use a Cockney accent. Even when they're going to the supermarket or they're hanging out with their friends, they're going to use a Cockney accent because they want to live their character. So we call it method acting, and that's something that Daniel Radcliffe talks about. Actually, in his case, that he's not a method actor, but that there are many other examples. I know that Daniel Day-Lewis famously is a method actor, and there are many others, of course. Okay, a huge part of received pronunciation is the T sound, and what's really fascinating is that Daniel Radcliffe uses 3 different types of T. Let's listen in.
Did you keep anything from the Harry Potter set? Yes, I did keep the glasses from the Harry Potter set. I kept one pair of glasses and I think like other little bits and pieces, props that I stole along the way.
Okay, in this very short space of time, he uses 3 different types of T. In the first example, he says Potter, he uses the true T, that potter, potter. Then in the second time he says potter, he uses what we call a flap T. Now this is more associated with American English, and it's where you might replace the T with a, I guess it's a D sound, a D sound. So it's potter, potter. Then finally, on little, he uses a glottal T. So that's when you stop the airflow as you're saying the T. So you restrict it, then you release it. So it's little, little. Not little, little, little. So he says potter, potter, and little. 3 different types of T.
Did you keep anything from the Harry Potter set? Yes, I did keep the glasses from the Harry Potter set. I kept 1 pair of glasses and I think like other little bits and pieces, props that I stole along the way.
Well, why is that? Well, it's because he's speaking spontaneously. He's not thinking too much about how he's saying his words. He's just saying them naturally, and yeah, maybe sometimes he'll say the true T, sometimes he'll have the flap T, sometimes he'll have a glottal T. It's just a part of spontaneous speech. Now what I'm really interested in is that flap T sound that he uses. Now I said it's from American English, and of course Daniel Radcliffe has had lots of exposure to American English, you know, filming, through all his different acting and work, whatnot. So it makes complete sense that he would be using a flap T, that potter, potter. Now, I have heard that same sound in other speakers of received pronunciation. People that maybe have traveled a bit, or they've definitely been exposed to American styles of English. So yeah, using that flap T is really interesting. He uses it again in this example.
And what's happened in their life will be a surprise rather than something I've read about already.
Read about already. Read about already. Now, did you hear that there? Read about already. Read about already. Now, what's really interesting here is that about already, we have a T followed by a vowel sound. And usually when that happens, the T sound goes over to the next word. So it's read about already. That's what I would say, read about already. That's something we call linking or catenation as well. Now, because he's changed that T at the end of about to a D, he's then taking that over to already. So it's not about already, it's about already, about already. It's quite subtle, listen to it again.
Rather than something I've read about already. Something I've read about already.
Read about already. Right, okay. Again, an example of a flap T that he's picked up probably from his exposure to American English. Okay guys, I just want to take a moment to tell you about this amazing offer by Skillshare. Now Skillshare is an online learning community of creators where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Now they offer thousands of very cool classes on a wide range of subjects, including photography, art, design, cooking, you name it, they've got it. I like to think of Skillshare as the Netflix of learning because there's so many resources and so much material that you can enjoy. And the beauty of it is you can learn anytime, anywhere, and I love that flexibility. Skillshare is for creative, curious people and people that love to learn new things. And I know that that's exactly what my Eat Sleep Dreamers are. I took a course by a guy called Jeff Staple all about how to create your own brand. It talks you through picking the right name, logo creation, and writing your mission statement. Now, what I loved about it was that I learned lots of new things, but it also helped me reaffirm the things that I'd already done, the steps I'd already taken to create this brand, Eat, Sleep, Dream English, that I'd done the right things. And that was really great to see that Jeff Staple kind of confirmed to me that, yeah, you've done the right thing, but also, yeah, that there was lots of new things that I picked up along the way. And it was a really fantastic course, especially for someone if you're starting a business or if you've got a dream, you've got an idea. It was perfect. It was a great way to kind of give you a roadmap as to what you need to do. Now, all the classes are quite short and very digestible, which means that you can learn them in your break. I mean, I watched this Jeff Staple one in a couple of lunchtimes. So you can learn anytime, anywhere, as I say, and you can learn in bite-sized chunks. Now we've got a very special offer for you guys because for a limited time only, using the link in the description below, you can get a free trial to the Skillshare Premium membership, which will allow you access to thousands of classes. So if you want to be a part of the Skillshare community, click that link below and get your free trial to the Skillshare Premium membership. Now, I can't recommend it highly enough, guys. I love what they do, and particularly for those of you that speak English at intermediate level and above, those higher level learners, this is going to be fantastic because there's lots of authentic, natural English. It's not made for English language learners. It's made for everyone, right? So they're going to be using fantastic new vocabulary, authentic listening. This is a brilliant way to get natural English. So click that link below. And if you do sign up, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to come and say hi to you, have a chat, and hear about your experience. Now, I want to continue that theme of linking sounds, and particularly that t sound, because there are other examples that he uses.
Which death in Harry Potter was the hardest for you to get over? Was Sirius, definitely.
Okay, our first example there, get over, get over. Get over, the t comes before the o sound, which is a vowel, of course. So, get over, not get over. Now, the reason we do this linking, is just to make things easier for ourselves, to blend these words together, because separately, if we say them separately, it takes more time, more effort, get over. So we use that t sound to link and blend into the o, the vowel sound, so it's get over.
Which death in Harry Potter was the hardest for you to get over?
Here's another example.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not a method actor at all.
Okay, at all, not at all. It takes a long time to say that. At all.
I'm not a method actor at all.
Now, this is something we call connected speech, the way we blend words and sounds together. Now, in modern received pronunciation, we'll find it more often, I'd say, than traditional conservative RP, because in that it's more considered. They take speakers of that accent take more time over words. They articulate every single sound, whereas modern RP, there's a tendency to blend sounds together. So linking is particularly common in modern RP. Now, Daniel Radcliffe's accent is very similar to his co-star Emma Watson, and I've done an accent video all about her modern received pronunciation. You can check it out in the link just above. Okay, let's get back to Daniel Radcliffe. First of all, let's talk about the intonation, because Daniel Radcliffe uses something called uptalk. Uptalk. Now, this is when the intonation goes up. Now, often we associate that with uncertainty. If you're not quite sure what you're saying, you might go up at the end.
I think maybe at the premiere. Like maybe at the premiere of the last one. I'll have seen bits and pieces of them since.
Bits and pieces of them since? So those bits and pieces, he's going up when you wouldn't expect that normally. But in uptalk, yeah, there is that swing up. Now, as I say, you might associate that intonation pattern with uncertainty, but it's not uncertainty really. He knows what he's talking about, but it's an influence that we've got from, I think it originated in American English, possibly Australian English as well. It's debated as to where it's come from, and it's quite a young intonation pattern. A lot of younger people might use this. Some people find it annoying. That's for them to decide. It's for you to decide. But yeah, this is definitely something that he has incorporated into his English. And actually, Emma Watson also had quite a bit of uptalk as well in her English. So perhaps it's again the influence of living abroad or being surrounded by different Englishes, Australian English or American English. So yeah, it's a feature. He doesn't do it all the time, but it is here. I think it's important to say now that there hasn't been that much change in the way that Daniel Radcliffe speaks. From that first interview when he was 11 years old right up until now, he speaks pretty much the same way. It's still modern received pronunciation. There is a little bit of influence from American English, but it's quite small. So generally speaking, his accent has remained the same. Now, if you'd like to watch more accent videos, I've done loads and loads. Emma Watson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hardy, Harry Styles. If you want to watch those, you can click the link just above. That will take you to a playlist where they are all there. And of course, guys, remember to get your free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. Hit that link below. But until next time, this is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.